I bought my first house 3 months ago. It was cheap, quiet, and tucked away in a wooded part of upstate New York. A dream come true for a guy who works remotely and hates people. It wasn't in perfect shape, paint peeling in places, floorboards creaky, plumbing that groaned like it had lungs, but nothing unlivable, nothing I couldn't fix, or so I thought. The first week, I heard scratching. That's not too weird, right? Mice, maybe? Or squirrels nesting in the walls? It was faint and mostly at night. Just little skitter-skitter sounds. I bought traps, called an exterminator. He looked around, shrugged, and said he didn't see any signs of infestation, but the scratching didn't stop. In fact, it got closer. Around the second week, I heard whispering. Now, before you think I'm schizophrenic or sleep-deprived, I'm not. I sleep fine. I don't drink. I don't even smoke anymore. But one night, lying in bed, I heard it. A soft voice, barely audible, coming from inside the wall behind my headboard. It wasn't words at first, just a muffled rhythm like someone talking with their mouth full of dirt. I sat up, turned off everything that could make noise, and pressed my ear to the wall. I swear on my life, I heard my name, Lee. It was faint, like it had to travel a long way to reach me, but it was my name. Not once, not as an echo multiple times, like someone down a hallway, calling gently, almost lovingly. I moved the bed away from the wall and slept on the floor that night. Week 3. The notes started showing up. First I thought it was a prank. Maybe the last owner still had a key. Maybe a neighbor was messing with me. The first one was inside my bathroom mirror cabinet. I opened it to grab a razor and found a folded-up piece of lined notebook paper. Don't be afraid. I'm just trying to remember. Remember what exactly? The second one showed up 2 days later under my pillow. Greater than your name helps. Say it again, please. I started checking every room before bed. Closets, cabinets, even the attic. I hated the door creaks like a dying animal when you pull it down. No one was in the house ever, and yet the notes kept coming. Always handwritten, always in the same uneven slanted cursive. Sometimes tucked into drawers I hadn't opened in weeks. Sometimes under my coffee mug. Once, taped to the inside of the fridge. Greater than I remember warm. I remember breath. What's it like now? Week 4, I decided to test it. I took a piece of paper and wrote, asterisk, asterisk, who are you? Asterisk, asterisk. I left it on the kitchen counter. That night, I found the paper again, same one. My handwriting, still intact. But underneath my question, someone had added greater than I don't know anymore. I wrote again. Asterisk, asterisk, where are you? Asterisk. The next morning, greater than inside, always. I started tearing the place apart. Thought maybe, there was someone living in the walls. A squatter, a runaway, a creep who'd found some crawl space and was hiding out. But there's no crawl space, no secret doors. I hired a contractor to inspect everything. We knocked on all the walls, looked at blueprints. Nothing. It's solid, he said. Whatever's behind there, it's just insulation and studs. No rats, no squirrels, no signs of anything living there. Except there was this one spot behind the living room bookshelf. The contractor knocked on it, and it sounded off. Like the wall there was hollow, not like insulation, like space. When we tried to remove the panel, though, it wouldn't budge. It felt like it was nailed shut from the inside. Week 5, I started keeping a voice recorder running while I slept. On the second night, I caught something. At 3:41 a.m., there's a click, like a light switch being flipped. And about 10 seconds of silence, and then, "You're starting to hear me, Eli." The voice was low, raspy, and wet, like it was speaking through a mouth that hadn't used words in years. I moved out of the bedroom the next day and started sleeping on the couch. Week 6, the final note changed everything. I woke up to find it stuck to my chest, not taped, not tucked under a blanket. Literally pressed flat against my shirt like it had been ironed there. I didn't feel anything during the night, no pain, no presence. It read, greater than I was Eli once too. I don't know what that means. I don't want to know. I've been sleeping in a motel for a week now, and the house is up for sale. I don't even care if I take a loss. Yeah, but this morning at the motel, I found something under my pillow. The same paper, the same handwriting. Come back. I'm remembering more now. ED. I just got a notification from my Nest camera at the house. Motion detected in the living room. I opened the video feed. There's something standing in front of the bookshelf. It looks like me, but not quite. And it's holding a note. I've been working the night shift at a gas station off Route 9 for 6 years now. Out-of-towners don't usually stop here unless they're low on gas or desperate, which is exactly how they like it. Management doesn't give me a lot of responsibilities, but they give me rules. A laminated sheet of them is taped to the cash register. New employees always think it's a joke at first. That's why most don't last the week. I'm writing this now because last night I broke one of the rules and something followed me home. The rules never open pump 3 between 2:33 a.m. and 3:03 a.m., no matter how many times someone requests it, even if they're crying, even if they look like you. If the payphone rings, don't answer it. There's no payphone on the premises. Let it ring. You might see a little girl in a blue dress sitting on the freezer. Talk to her, don't look at her. If she talks to you, go outside until she leaves. If a man in a tweed jacket pays in coins and asks for directions to the well, give him a map, tell him it's west of here, and ask no questions. He will leave before the sun comes up. Do not check the mirror in the bathroom after 2 a.m. If you must use the bathroom after 2 a.m., keep your eyes on the floor. If you hear knocking from the inside of the ice machine, ignore it. Whatever's inside didn't get in there tonight. Leave an unopened bottle of water and a granola bar behind the dumpster at 4 a.m. Don't look back when you do it. If a customer buys exactly $6.66 in gas, comp it and mark the logbook. Do not let them drive off until they say thank you. If you hear scratching from under the floor, great. Play a recording of your own voice, loudly. At 5:45 a.m. sharp, mop the floor in one continuous motion. Do not break eye contact with the mirror near the chip rack. But you'll understand when it happens. I followed every one of those rules for 6 years without fail. Until last night, it was a quiet shift. One car came in, beat-up SUV, no plates. Driver didn't get out. I didn't go outside. Standard stuff. Then, around 2:36 a.m., a man came in wearing what looked like a park ranger uniform. No patches, no name tag. He looked off. Something about his skin tight, like it had been shrink-wrapped over his bones. His eyes didn't blink at the same time. He walked straight to the register and asked, "Pump 3. Can you open it now? I know the rules." "I know them by heart," I said. "Sorry, it's down for maintenance." He smiled wide. Too wide. His lips stretched past where they should have. "It's working fine. Just let me pump what I need." His voice was all wrong. It's like someone trying to mimic a human being but missing the cadence completely. I should have walked out. I should have gone to the break room and turned up the radio until he left. Instead, I froze and nodded. I flipped the switch for pump 3. Immediately, all the lights in the store flickered. The soda machine started cycling through every flavor at once. The air turned heavy like breathing underwater, and the man didn't move. He stayed at the counter, smiling. "You shouldn't have done that," he said. I reached for the phone to call. I don't even know who. There's no police department nearby. But when I picked up the receiver, I heard it, a dial tone. On a phone that's been dead for years. Then a voice, low and growling. "You broke the pact." I slammed the phone down. When I looked back up, the man was gone. So is the SUV, but pump 3, still ticking. Fuel pouring out onto the ground. Even though no one was holding the nozzle. Locked the pump. Mopped the pump. Mopped the store exactly at 5:45 a.m. Eyes locked on the mirror. There was something in it this time. A shape, blurry, tall, hunched forward, watching me. It didn't move, but I could feel it breathing. When I got home this morning, my apartment door was unlocked. Nothing was missing. Nothing was moved. But on my kitchen table was a note. Scrawled in black ink, "You opened the wrong door." My bathroom mirror is fogged over. Behind the fog, I swear I can see someone standing in the reflection. Someone who looks exactly like me. I don't know what happens now. I called in sick tonight. Not that it matters. I've never missed a shift in 6 years, but I don't think they'll call. I don't think anyone really runs that place. But if you're driving through Route 9 and you see the station with the flickering sign, don't stop. And if you do stop, whatever you do, don't open pump 3. This happened to a guy named Tyler in 2017. He was 19 years old at the time, recently graduated, living with his parents in a small town in Pennsylvania. He needed money fast. and like a lot of people, he turned to Craigslist. He found a posting titled, "Nighttime Security Assistant Needed. $25 an hour. No experience required." That alone should have raised red flags. But $25 an hour was way better than fast food or retail. The job was located 30 minutes away in a remote industrial area near an abandoned rail yard. The job sounded simple. Sit in a booth from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Watch the security feeds. If anything weird happens, call a number posted inside the booth. That's it. He emailed the contact, got a reply 2 hours later. No interview, no paperwork. They just told him to start that night. Tyler's dad offered to drive him the first time, and when they arrived, even he seemed weirded out. The warehouse was huge but totally dark. The only light came from the booth chest, a prefab container with a desk and monitors. Inside, there was no personal info, no names. Just a sticky note with the number 911 and another number that started with a weird area code. No instructions, no contact person, just sit and watch. Tyler shrugged and got comfortable. The first night was boring, nothing moved. The cameras showed empty hallways, forklifts, and dark loading docks. Until around 2:15 a.m., camera 6 flickered. Tyler leaned closer. The feed stabilized. And someone was there, a man, standing at the far end of the hallway. He wasn't facing the camera, just standing, motionless, staring at the wall. Tyler waited for movement. The guy didn't move for almost 2 minutes. Then, with no warning, the screen glitched again, and he was gone. Tyler picked up the phone and dialed the weird number. Rang once, then silence. Not even a dial tone, just a click. Then the camera feed for the booth turned on. He hadn't even noticed there was a camera inside the booth. The feed showed him, sitting there watching, but something was off. The timestamp said it was 2:19 a.m., but his clock said 2:17. He stared at the screen. Then the booth camera feed glitched and showed a second figure, standing behind him. Tyler turned around, panicked. Nothing. But when he looked back at the monitor, the figure was closer. He grabbed his phone and ran outside. When he looked back, the lights inside the warehouse were flickering. He could swear he saw the man from before, just staring at him through the booth window. He called his dad, waited by the side of the road, left everything behind. The next day, he tried to find the Craigslist listing again. It was gone. A month later, while browsing Reddit, Tyler found a post in r paranormal with a screenshot of a nearly identical Craigslist job listing, same pay. Same description, different location. People in the comments said it was a scam, or worse, trap. This happened to a girl named Emma about 2 years ago. She had just moved into a small 2-story apartment complex just outside of Chicago. She was 24 at the time, starting her first full-time job and living on her own for the first time. The building was quiet, cheap, and most importantly available on short notice. Emma moved into the bottom unit. The one above hers had been empty for a while. The landlord told her during the tour, "We're still renovating the upstairs. It'll be vacant for a while." She didn't think much of it. Her first few nights in the apartment were peaceful, at first. But on the third night, around 1:30 in the morning, she heard something strange. It sounded like someone pacing, slowly creaking floorboards. From above her, she brushed it off. Maybe someone was checking the unit after hours, or a neighbor from another unit making noise. But it kept happening. Same time. Same pacing. The fourth night, it escalated. She was reading in bed when she heard a loud thud like something had been dropped. Then came a low, scraping noise. It's almost like a chair being dragged across the wooden floor. She froze. The next morning, she went straight to the landlord. She mentioned the noisies, especially the dragging sound. He frowned and shook his head. "There's nobody upstairs. No one has access to that unit but me." She asked if he could check anyway. He said he would. Eventually, he seemed more annoyed than concerned. That night, Emma tried to convince herself she was just on edge. New places are strange. You hear things. But when the clock hit 1:10 a.m., right on cue, the pacing started again. This time, it didn't stop for hours. What really messed with her was the whispering. It sounded like a man's voice, deep, faint, like it was right above her ceiling. At one point, she could swear she heard laughter. Emma stayed up all night with the lights on. When she checked with the landlord the next morning, he admitted something weird. He had gone to the upper unit, and the door was locked just as he left it. Windows too. Everything appeared untouched. Emma was freaked out, but not enough to break her lease. She bought earplugs and tried to forget about it. Then, it got worse. One night, she came home to find a note taped to her door. It was just one word. Green. She didn't understand it. No name, no explanation. She brushed it off as a prank.
At night at 1:17 a.m., she heard something new.
It was a thud like something dropping onto her balcony. She ran to check it. Nothing, but she noticed the sliding door was unlocked. She always locked it. That same week, she came home from work and noticed things slightly off. A drawer slightly open. Her toothbrush not where she left it. She told herself she was being paranoid, till the day the landlord finally checked the unit above hers with Emma present. He opened the door. The first thing they noticed was the smell. Old food, mold, something else rot. Inside, there were blankets and empty water bottles. A nest made from insulation and duct tape. Someone had been living there. On the floor were dozens of Polaroid pictures. All of Emma, through her bedroom window, through the cracks in her curtains. Some while she was sleeping, and near the corner of the room was a small notebook. Last page had something written in jagged pencil. Green is her favorite. They never caught the guy. Police think he was using the attic crawl space between the units to move around. Sneaking into her place when she left for work, Emma moved out the same day. I've never posted anything like this before, and I'm not sure if this is a confession or just me finally losing it, but I need to get this off my chest. Make of it what you will. I moved into a new apartment about 6 months ago after getting a crazy good job offer. Everything fell into place way too easily. The apartment was cheap, the job paid well. I didn't even go through a proper interview, just a short Zoom call where they basically hired me on the spot. But things started feeling off. It was little things at first. My key would stick in the door, even though it was supposedly the original key. The mail I kept getting was in T just for the previous tenant. It was for someone with my exact name, same spelling. First and last, even stranger. Some of it wasn't forwarded, it was new. I shrugged it off as coincidence, until I met the neighbors. One woman across the hall greeted me like she knew me already. "Oh, you're back," she said. "Didn't think you'd return after what happened." I laughed it off, asked what she meant. She just shook her head and said, "Never mind. You look different, that's all." I've asked HR at work for copies of my hiring paperwork, but they can't seem to find it. My boss avoids me like the plague. The office feels like a simulation. Sometimes everyone smiles, but nobody ever talks. Last night was the breaking point. I woke up around 3 a.m. to someone knocking on my apartment door. When I looked through the peephole, there was a man standing there, face hidden in shadow. He said my name, not shouted it, said it like a quiet command. Then he whispered, "You're not him. You shouldn't be here." I backed away from the door, grabbed my phone, and by the time I looked again, he was gone. No footsteps, no sound, just gone. Now I'm scared to sleep. I feel like I'm living a life that wasn't meant for me. Like I stepped into the ghost of someone else and, whoever they were, they want it back. I don't expect anyone to believe me. I just needed someone to hear this before I disappear too.